The average marks. Gonna do a little reaction video here. NZO and Brian Pillman Jr. Let's get it started.
August 16th. It'll mark 572 days since the last time I stepped foot in a wrestling ring. Holy smokes. Coincidentally, it'll be at the Mid-Hudson Civic.
Look, I'm not going to stop this, but I think right now we have to appreciate the amazing goatee that NZO is rocking.
Center, the same location of my last wrestling match that I had, which was the main event marquee headline of the first and only ever 205 Live Cruiserweight Tour. And those guys, they were happy to be on tour, I gotta tell you. Otherwise, they would have been sitting at home with their thumb up their ass. Instead, they were getting money in their pockets. Why? Because I'm a businessman. Not a businessman, I'm a businessman, and you know nothing about my business. Dave Meltzer, you couldn't lace my J's.
Damn.
That's because they're one-of-ones and they're made by Jordan. I'm the only wrestler with his own pair of Jordans. Why? Because I'm a star, okay? I know a star when I see a star, and I didn't have to look through the Hubble telescope to tell you that, all right? It doesn't take Galileo to look at me and know that I'm the most charismatic, most entertaining superstar this business has seen in years, okay? If you smell, that was me, not the guy who said it. I'm the shit. I know you smell it. And the only thing louder than me is my resume. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. You can look at the numbers, pal. The first day I was ever on TV, I went off script, had that place lit, trended #1 in the world. In 2017, I broke up with my tag team partner, Big Cass. We trended #1 in the world, and we were the #1 ratings draw on all of television in 2017. When we reunited at Madison Square Garden, it wasn't Bret Hart getting attacked at the Hall of Fame. It wasn't the WWE. It wasn't Ring of Honor. It wasn't New Japan. It wasn't the G1 Supercard. It wasn't March Madness or the Final Four trended #1 worldwide. It was Enzo and Cass. The only thing real in this business is the money and the miles. And me.
All right. That's a pretty good promo. What'd you think? Let us know down in the comments. This guy looks like he needs the crap. Like he's just pushing a big log out. I love Brian Pillman Jr. That mullet is something of legend.
Well, Paul, we heard from Enzo, and here is his hand-selected opponent for his return to the ring tonight. A man whom he picked because of the respect he has for what his dad did in professional wrestling years ago. Brian Pillman Jr. his own right.
You can say that again because Brian Pillman Jr.
Great jacket, too.
Forget about the fact that his dad was such a legend. On his own merits, he is such a rising star in professional wrestling, going all over the world to ply his trade and to improve. He has a great future.
They used him great in MLW whenever Teddy and Davey were there, but he's just like a jobber now. I don't get it. I'd love to see AEW start to use them in singles instead of tag. All right, here we go. Here's Enzo.
Listen to this reaction, Paul. Some love him, some hate him, but you can't keep your eyes off this man, especially
No music.
returning to the ring after a nearly 2-year absence in the same building where he left.
January 2018, the last time he was in a wrestling ring, and it was right here in this venue.
I like that. May the bridges I burn light the way.
Enzo than we've seen before. Usually he comes out, he's full of fire, energy, passion.
Kind of like a Raven vibe coming out.
Fans going, but this is not the Enzo we last saw. This is a very different guy.
It's been a long Nearly 2 years for this man. He's had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to evolve. A lot's gone on in this man's life professionally, personally. But one thing is for sure, he still is a controversy magnet. And this return in and of itself, perhaps the most talked about aspect of tonight's blockbuster card.
A lot of talk around the locker room, a lot of talk on social media.
I like the new look. It's not the colorful Enzo from the past. It's coming out just straight badass Enzo.
They said, what about Enzo? What's going on with him? So a lot of chatter about this one, but Brian Pillman Jr. is going to be undeterred. He's not going to worry about the hype surrounding this. I think he is going to take the fight to Enzo and then some.
Well, Brian Pillman Jr., certainly a young man who seems to embrace some of the same qualities as his father, including not necessarily looking to abide by any rules, any standards of professionalism. He's his own man. He walks to the beat of his own drum, and perhaps
and he wears
that's what
tassels.
He sees when he thinks of his dad, and what he sees when he thinks of Brian Pillman Jr.
I wouldn't exactly characterize Junior as a
Nice strong lockup right there.
He certainly has elements of unpredictability and aggression that his father had. Add that to the athleticism, the pedigree, the background, being trained by Lance Storm in professional wrestling, and you have all the elements for a great professional wrestler. It's just the fact of putting it together.
And we heard comments from Enzo before this contest. The bell has rung. That
I wonder how many people are there.
Nothing he says, no mouth running that he could do. None of that matters anymore. It's time for Enzo to show, prove, and back up what he's been saying, that he belongs back in a wrestling ring.
Enzo also showing a different side of himself.
It's a good commentary team.
Headlock takedown. That's not something he would usually go for this early in a contest, if at all. He would be wild, sort of in there brawling, but showing a little more of a technical side to himself.
A scrappy pit bull-like mentality in the past for Enzo. We'll see how he has changed his game. Nice takedown. Fundamentally sound strategy from Enzo in the early
Putting your weight on him, trying to wear him down.
Don't spend that many
I like
years
it.
training down in Florida with some of the greatest legends in all of professional wrestling and not pick up a thing or two. It's just maybe he thought he was above that all. Maybe he thought he was just such a big superstar that he could do things his own way. Now maybe changing his tune a little bit.
A shoulder tackle.
To show that he is a great technician in addition to everything else.
Enzo on the move and runs into a hip toss.
Man, not much ring rust at all. Enzo's looking good.
Able to outmaneuver Enzo and showcase that unbelievable athleticism that makes him such a raw success even in the very early stages of his career.
Great fire shown by Pillman Jr.
I'm about to find out where this promotion is.
He has been all over the United
Great commentary
States
team.
already.
Great camera work.
Young career. Not only is he a young man,
Everything's so
his
quality.
career is very new, and that's not what people realize. They think, hey, he's a Pillman. He's probably been around the block and then some, but no, he's still very young in his career, but so much potential.
Enzo taking a beat to think things through. And we'll see if he has a plan B as Pillman goes to the headlock.
I'm interested to see what kind of mind games
Oh,
Enzo
Pillman says my
will
turn.
play here at some point, because you saw it there when he was talking before this match. There's still that vibrant, fiery side to him, that sort of cocky, arrogant side to him. But is he going to use that to his advantage? Is all of this technical work just a ploy?
Pillman now using the same strategy that Enzo employed in the first moments of the match, trying to ground Enzo and maybe get back some of that momentum.
God, that mullet's so glorious.
It's been a year and a half since Enzo was last in a wrestling ring here in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Ah, Poughkeepsie, okay.
He's been on record as saying, I'm still the Cruiserweight champion. I never lost that title. And that is a very...
I know of some people in Poughkeepsie.
Well, let's be honest, Paul. We talked before about David Arquette, his lack of respect in the pro wrestling world. I think in some ways, Enzo can relate because here's a man who was in the mix with some of the best technical wrestlers in the world and was not looked at as being on their level athletically. Is he here to prove those critics wrong tonight?
If he is, he's not doing a great job of it so far. Pillman Jr., after that early flurry, was able to neutralize Enzo, and now he has him and is grinding away on the mat, but Enzo always full of tricks. But Pillman Jr., just too much of a raw athlete.
A little bit of Hollywood blonde action from Pillman Jr. on the hop. Up goes Enzo.
Uh-oh.
And Enzo, oh boy.
I think his knee might have went out maybe.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Just like that, Enzo's comeback story may be over as soon as it began.
We're not getting the X.
The referee checking on him here, making sure he can continue.
Giving us some time, though.
Pillman Jr. doing the right thing here.
Uh-oh. Oh.
That's that tricks I was
Oh, heel Enzo.
right there, getting into Pillman's
I see ya.
and taking advantage.
I do like that Enzo.
For himself come hell or high water. Enzo, by hook or crook, is going to find his advantage. And Pillman says, the heck with that.
Now that was funny.
Someone's head. Pillman living in Enzo's right now.
That was great.
Pillman refusing to back down in this battle of the mind games. And now the referee going to force perhaps a break, but a slick move by Enzo.
It looked like he went neck, maybe even head first over that top rope. And as you know,
Yeah, the old saying goes, get clotheslined. When I was in high school,
and Enzo,
I was at a church camp, and a guy actually got clotheslined on a clothesline. I thought he was going to die. I thought his throat had caved in. The noises that he was making, I've never been clotheslined before, but I thought the kid was going to die.
Fight mentality. He's going to fight any advantage he can.
Ran all that way just to slap him.
More than it is injuring your opponent.
Oh my God.
Death drop from the apron to the floor. And I was at ringside earlier.
Somebody check the pulse on that man.
I wouldn't exactly call it soft.
A rough landing.
Yeah, no, that mat's not soft. That mat on a concrete floor is as hard as the concrete floor.
Considered a crash to the back of the head to the neck.
God, what wrestlers put themselves through. I don't know how they make it.
Thanks to Enzo.
That is a gruesome landing. Not only did his neck and head go across that top rope earlier, but now crashing onto that mat on the floor.
Oh, now he can sing soprano.
Not a soft
He needs a new career.
and not a soft landing.
Going to American Idol.
We asked the question earlier.
Wow, I like this new Enzo. Came out here, all business, no music, looking like a prize fighter.
Not so much right now.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Heel Enzo.
Junior here.
Oh, crap. What's he going to do now?
Oh, no man's land for Pillman.
Oh!
God.
No way to defend himself.
Jeez.
Was that skull on steel, bone on steel, whatever it was, physically detrimental?
Well, he's getting some good heat from the crowd, too.
For this young man.
Yeah, his head might have gone against that post, but for sure, from the angle we had, it looked like he went spine first. So either way, that is absolutely brutal damage done to Brian Pillman Jr.
I don't know how they do it.
I had Enzo counted out very
There's no way I could
early,
do that.
But it looks like
consistently.
through that,
Maybe for one night only.
he might get a count out here.
And maybe that's good enough for Enzo.
Back when I was 20.
He looks very, very content with what he has accomplished.
Trying to drag his way back in, and he doesn't. But the damage might have been too much.
Pillman Jr. hanging tough. And Enzo now, perhaps
Enzo looks like he never left, man. He looks so crisp, so good.
We're seeing shades of the old Enzo here, but there is just a little more evil behind his intentions.
Tree of woe.
Before, he would just sort of be in there and kind of be, you know, animated, a character, if you will. But there is no playing around here. He is straight.
You know, Enzo gets a lot of crap from other wrestlers and from fans of not knowing how to wrestle.
Literally.
I'm enjoying this, man. This is good.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Oh! I had to take the wind out of you.
Vicious shot. No defense.
Brian Pillman's taking a lot of punishment.
You can attest to this. We've seen some great athleticism here, but there is no athleticism involved in there when you're doing something like that. That is brute force. That is knowing exactly where to place your fist and your forearm and all of the weight behind it with that sprint. That was vicious.
We've spoken several times tonight about several superstars making statements here this evening. Perhaps Enzo, with the wrestling world watching him, looking to make a big statement.
Tell you what, I don't know.
At the hands of Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh,
no.
I don't know if this is a promotion that has like a weekly show where they could have a program with Brian Pillman and Enzo, like for a few weeks. But that would be amazing, like to build something up.
Across the top rope, hurt even more.
And I don't know if this has been built up. I don't think it is, because he said he was his hand-picked opponent.
Not a normal person. I mean, this is a much different side of Enzo.
But if they could build up for a few weeks, a month, build a storyline into a match, that would be epic.
For his return to the ring. He's doing exactly what he wants to be doing, and he is being exactly who he wants to be. This is the real Enzo. And Brian,
oh my God.
Maybe shut down for good.
Yeah, he might be out. That is not normal breathing you see from a competitor. From Pillman, he might be out of it.
Enzo almost spitefully soaking in whatever energy, positive or negative, he can from this capacity crowd.
Ooh.
And where did that come from?
Pillman gets the knee up, Enzo down, and this is why you cannot count Pillman Jr. out.
AEW needs to make a call on Enzo and Cass.
Pillman Jr. still so young.
If they came out straight heel tag team with this Enzo and the new Cass that we saw in SWE Fury, oh my God.
Lead on that if he wants to have any hope to get back into this fight.
He's right back in this. I don't know how much Enzo has left. Probably a lot more than Pillman, but Pillman gets the opening he's needed. But Enzo out of the way.
Enzo gets caught. And Pillman better hang on. Enzo down. And a super kick. He got just about all of it. Oh.
Well, you want to talk about 2 3/4.
Through the chin of Enzo, but somehow
wow.
The man who calls himself the real one out at 2.
Almost a knockout blow, but Enzo still breathing, still kicking. Where do we go from here as Brian Pillman Jr. has fought his way back into the game?
These guys have great chemistry together.
In the corner. Pillman gonna go high risk.
A good ref, too.
It may be do or die time for Brian Pillman Jr.
Not only am I marking out over this match, this promotion's really good, too.
Enzo holding on for dear life. Survival mode. Street instincts.
Oh, he's raking the eyes.
Changing the course of destiny once again. Enzo, where's he going? DDT.
He calls that the DDG.
The DDG.
And Brian Pillman Jr.
Isn't it funny how a DDT in the 80s, early 90s was a finishing move?
Enzo coming from that.
I mean, back in the 80s, if you DDT'd somebody off the top rope, they'd be dead.
Only gets a 2. Pillman again with that labored breathing. But
Now you're lucky if you get a 1 count on a DDT.
And now you can see that frustration coming into play from Enzo.
And this is where we get to test Enzo's emotional stability here. We saw that contentment, that calm, that peacefulness earlier when he was in control. How is he going to react to this challenge, this frustration?
I think he's going to try that jaw done.
Pillman felt it coming. Oh, almost took the match right there. Enzo back on the attack. He got it.
Jaw done.
Oh, that's it. What a great match. Boy, I like this Enzo. Look at him. He's just walking. He don't even. Oh, this Enzo is great. He don't even care. He's just walking out. No music. He's just out.
A lot of people happy and a lot of people
Oh, man.
Angry. Like it or not.
That was some good stuff. That was really good. All right. So just testing out Melon. That's OBS's StreamYard. I didn't want to go with StreamYard because Melon's going to save me $10 a month. So just seeing how everything sounds, how everything looks. I think I'm really happy with it. But leave your comments down below what you think about the new Enzo and what promotion you think he would do the best in. All right, guys, we're out of here.